Do you feel there is currently enough talent on the defensive side of the ball to compete at a championship level in the league?
Yes.
Last season, the Bengals had one of the worst defensive performances in NFL history. Joe Burrow was trying to lead them to the postseason, but sadly they finished 9-8 and missed the playoffs. And as you can see, 4 times last season, Joe Burrow put up more than 30 points and the Bengals still lost. Now, fast forwarding to this season, Joe Burrow was injured a few weeks into the season, but the Bengals signed Joe Flacco and are trying to still make a push to make the playoffs. Maybe Joe Burrow will be able to return by then. But the Bengals defense is already back to last year's shenanigans, allowing more than 30 points 5 times this season, and it's only week 10. Literally nothing may be able to save this team. Joe Flacco had the best game of his career, and the Bengals still lost. And the Bengals are the first team in 70 years to score 38 points back-to-back games and still lose both. This is a historically bad defense. I want to show you the Bengals' last 2 games, starting week 8 against the 0-7 Jets. The Bengals start up 17-3 with a QB sneak from Joe Flacco for a touchdown and then a 44-yard bomb to T. Higgins to extend the lead to 14. This is 40-year-old Joe Flacco in his 18th season, putting up numbers for Cincinnati. Then we go to 5 minutes left in the second quarter. It's 4th and 2, and Justin Fields puts it up to Tyler Johnson, who comes down with the touchdown. Daxton Hill, not even close in coverage. But it's all right. The Jets have not won a game this season, and the Bengals still have the lead at home. And Flacco gets right back to it as Chase Brown punches it into the end zone, and the Bengals are up 24-13 at halftime. Third quarter, the bad tackling is just on display. You see Barrett Carter just deciding not to tackle Isaiah Davis. But the Jets would be held to just a field goal, and then Samaje Perine would break off for a 32-yard touchdown run to make the lead 15. So the Bengals are feeling good about their lead, right? Wrong. 27, Jordan Battle gets dusted by Breece Hall for a long gain to set up a Breece Hall touchdown. But don't fear, Joe Flacco calmly leads his team back down the field for Chase Brown to punch it in to get the lead to 38-24. Imagine having a 14-point lead with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and you have to worry if your team can hold the lead. The Bengals let Breece Hall score another touchdown, and Justin Fields converts the 2-point attempt while falling down. And with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Jets get the ball back, drive down the field. The 0-7 Jets, they haven't won a game this season, leading us to 1st and goal where Breece Hall throws it up to Taylor in the back of the end zone for a 1-point lead. 20, DJ Turner, I don't know what type of defense that is. Joe Flacco and the Bengals would have a chance at the end of the game, but they couldn't pull through, and they are left in disbelief, giving Aaron Glenn his first win as a head coach. This Bengals defense really makes you question, was Cincinnati's move of signing T. Higgins to a 4-year deal, paying him $29 million a year, and signing Jamar Chase to $40 million a year worth it? Because they have 2 of the top 11 paid wide receivers in the NFL on their salary cap. Then we go to the following week, this one against the Bears, and how can it get worse than losing to the Jets? And it starts out great for the Bengals as Charlie Jones takes it 98 yards for a kickoff return touchdown to give the Bengals an early lead. But the Cincinnati defense stood no chance as the Bears would walk down the field, it would run into a little bit of a wall, and would be forced to score on 4th and goal instead of 1st and goal. Flacco would get his team in the field goal range. Then the Bears with the ball. DJ Ivey would line up in the neutral zone on a field goal, giving the Bears a second chance, setting up a Zacchaeus touchdown. 44, Demetrius Knight. What type of tackle is that? Zacchaeus had this one for free. It didn't even look like the Bengals had any effort there at the goal line. And it's not just that the Bengals defense is bad. It seems like the whole franchise does not have a winning culture. You see the Bengals get right down the field on a 1st and goal attempt. Jamar Chase, it's through his hands. And then Orlando Brown punches Montez Sweat, who is on the ground, forcing the Bengals to have 3rd and goal from the 21-yard line. The Bears would then extend their lead to 17-13. But then just before half, Joe Flacco would put up another 44-yard touchdown bomb to T. Higgins. Deshaun Wright absolutely lost in coverage. What a catch. Third quarter, Michigan man Colston Loveland would regain the Bears lead 24-20, but Joe Flacco would be right back to it. And T. Higgins would score his 2nd touchdown of the day, this one on C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This catch, originally ruled incomplete, was overturned. The Bears with the ball back down 3 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. You see DJ Turner again lost in coverage. I don't know also how he's supposed to guard Colston Loveland. That man is huge. And then a huge hole would allow Brown to score the touchdown. The real issue in this game is when DJ Moore gives the Bears a 14-point lead with just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You think it's over. But of course, Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase keep battling, getting the Bengals down the field. And on 1st and goal, Joe Flacco would find, from Hawaii, Andre Yoshivash for the touchdown, but he stepped out of bounds. And on the very next play, Tremaine Edmonds would pick off Joe Flacco, but the touchdown would come back, and the Bengals would actually get a stop when it mattered. It's funny, the Bengals defense would only get stops when it's enough to keep their team in it, but not enough to win the game. They almost want their fans just to suffer. And with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go, down 14, Joe Flacco would get the ball back once again. And he would quickly find Noah Fant for the touchdown and then convert the 2-point attempt to T. Higgins to cut the lead to 6. Then the Bengals would go for the onside kick, and it would bounce off Daniel Hardy's toe and would be recovered by the Bengals with a chance to win the game. They're pretty much doing the opposite of what the Jets did to them the week prior. T. Higgins would catch a huge ball down the field. Chase Brown would get them inside the 10, and then Andre Yoshivash would get the touchdown to take the lead. Zach Taylor smiling. Yoshivash finally got the touchdown after his mishap. Joe Flacco's still worried. And fair enough, there's still 45 seconds left on the clock. Caleb Williams' first pass, incomplete. Second one, under pressure, incomplete. Third one, runs up the right side of the field for a first down. 23 seconds left. The Bears have one more timeout. Ben Johnson's calling up a play. Zach Taylor is looking worried on the sideline, and you'll never guess what happened. Caleb Williams drops back. He's looking over the middle. Pressure's coming. Steps up and throws just before the pressure gets to him. This ball travels about 25 yards down the field in the air. Colston Loveland catches it between 3 defenders. Jordan Battle, 27, the first one to hit him. Boom, on the ground. 22, Geno Stone realizes that he shouldn't have just watched Colston Loveland walk by him. He almost falls, tries to catch up. He's not going to get there. 28, Josh Newton originally slows down thinking his teammates would be able to make the tackle. He thought wrong. Come on, man. You've been on this team for the past few weeks. You should know that the Bengals do not tackle. And Colston Loveland would take it in for a 58-yard game-winning touchdown. Now, the Bears wouldn't have won the game, but they would have had a good shot. They would have had to run up and spike the ball at the 35-yard line, then kick about a 50-yard game-winning field goal. There still would have been a chance for the Bengals, but they decided they'd be nice and just let Loveland score. Jamar Chase and the Bengals can't believe it. One of the most insane games ever. They lost where they scored 42 points, had over 500 yards of total offense, had an onside kick recovery, a blocked field goal, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and scored 15 points in less than a minute to take the lead at the end of the game, and they still lost.